Good afternoon, students. Welcome to this week's video. I'm going to talk about your week 5 assignment. So right now you're in week 4, and so for the week 4 forum, all you have to do is just submit your comparison contrast essay rough drafts and outlines. So when you do a comparison contrast essay, you just compare two people, two ideas. And last week I talked about 2 different ways in which you can do a comparison contrast essay, such as the block method and the alternate method. So we're going to come back to the comparison contrast essay in week 6. So in week 5, we are going to be doing something completely different. And then we are going to come back to the comparison contrast essay in week 6. And that will be the last week for this class. So we're getting really close to the end of this class. And as of this week, you have only 2 more weeks left of this very short 6-week class. So let's get into week 5. So week 5 is pretty, a lot. So the first thing you need to do is the week 5 warm-up. So you just write 5 minutes of whatever the topic they give you and just write off the top of your head. So that's what's so fun about the warm-ups, is that no matter your grammar or whatever you write, it's just a warm-up to get your writing muscles warmed up. So it's not really important what you write, but it's just important that you get yourself writing and enjoying, and get yourself to enjoy writing. And then the week 5 persuasive passage. So your week 5 forum, you're going to write a persuasive essay. And so in a persuasive essay, we want to convince the reader that your point of view is correct. So in your thesis statement, you need to take a position. And so you can find topics for your persuasive essay in the procon.org website. Once you choose your topic, then you could just write about, for instance, gun control is necessary because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. So that your thesis statement formula is topic, gun control, opinion is necessary, reasons, because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And then these 3 reasons will become your body paragraphs. So paragraph 2 will be reason 1, paragraph 3 will be reason 2, paragraph 4 will be reason 3. And then in the conclusion, you simply repeat your thesis statement and summarize your essay in 5 sentences. So that's pretty much your week 5 forum, in which you write a short persuasive essay at a minimum of 3 paragraphs. So you have your introduction paragraph, you have your 1 body paragraph, and 1 conclusion paragraph. So that's all you have to do for the week 5 forum, is the persuasive essay. So if you want to learn more about what is a persuasive essay, you can go to the Professor H writing channel and then type in week 9 instructor session. What is a persuasive essay? And there you're going to have a whole bunch of my week 9 lectures about what is a persuasive essay. And then after the week 5 forum, you're going to be doing the week 5 credible sources worksheet. So basically the credible sources worksheet has to do with APA. And so APA stands for the American Psychological Association. And so when you write your papers, whenever you have historical data, medical data, scientific data, numerical data, legal data, or unknown knowledge, you have to cite the source. And there are 2 kinds of in-text citation. So in-text citation is inside, you put the in-text citation inside the body of the paragraph. So after you cite your historical, medical, scientific source, you have 2 kinds of quotations. A direct quote, where you cite the source verbatim. And so then you have quotation marks, then you have the author name, the date, and the page number. That's known as a direct quote. In other words, you cite it directly as it is. And then paraphrase quote is when you summarize the source. So even when you summarize a source, you still have to cite the source. Then you don't need a quotation marks, and you just have author and date. in parentheses, and that's inside the body of the paragraph. Then you have to have your reference citation. Your reference citation has to have the author last name, author first name, which is an initial, date, article name, publication name, and then date you retrieved the website, and then the web address. If you're taking an article out of a journal, then you don't italicize the article name, you italicize the publication. In other words, you italicize the journal. If you have a book citation, then you italicize the article name, and that's it. So that's the only difference. So that's what you're going to do for your week 5 credible sources. You have to find 3 credible sources, and then you have to write an in-text citation, a direct quote, a paraphrase quote, and then you have to tell me why that source is credible. So when we find out about credible sources, we use CAPAO. C is for currency, that is, it's written within 10 years. A is for author, which means that the article is written by an expert. P stands for purpose of the writing. It means that the writing is for educational purposes only and is not an ad. O is for objectivity, means that no bias, it's neutral. And W is writing purpose, means that it's professional. So that's how you ascertain if a source is credible and worthy. The most credible source is a peer-reviewed article that you can get from either Google Scholar or your online library. And so I know all of this sounds really complicated, and you can always come to my Wednesday lecture, live Zoom lectures to ask questions about how to do this. Then the last thing you have to do is the week 5 quiz. And so the week 5 quiz, you're going to be doing chapter 3, section 9, chapter 7, sections 1 and 7, and chapter 10, sections 2 and 3. Now to study for your week 5 quiz, all you have to do is go to the study guide, in which I put chapters 1 through 14. So it's called the chapter 1 through 14 study guide. And in it, I put in all of the example quiz questions for each chapter of the book. So for the chapter 5 quiz, you go to the chapter 3, and you go to the chapter 3 section 9, and study those questions. And then you go to chapter 7, section 1 and 7, and you study those quiz questions. And you go to chapter 10, sections 2 and 3, and you study those quiz questions. So that's the reason why I told you what's on the week 5 quiz, so that you could look up the correct chapters in the chapter 1 through 14 study guide to study for your week 5 quiz. And then I also gave you in the announcements in week 6, you're also going to be taking your final exam. And so I also included the final exam study guide for your final exam. So you can use the study guides, which has the answers. Actually, the final exam study guide has all the answers and explanations. And so if you have any questions for after all of what I just said, and you're still confused because it's like, wow, that's a lot, then you could always email me, and we can set up a one-on-one Zoom time together or a phone call. Either way, I hope that you understand how to do your APA in-text citations. Oh, also, if you want to learn more about how to do the worksheet, you can go to the Professor H writing channel, and you can go and put in week 10 instructor session. And then I go, and the reason why it's week 10 is because normally I teach the 12-week classes. The 12-week classes cover the same material as the 6-week classes. It's just that the 6-week classes is shorter, and you have to do everything faster. And so the week 5 stuff that you're doing, the week 12 class does it in week 10. That's the reason why it's like that. So for your how to do the persuasive essay, look up the week 9 instructor session in the Professor H writing channel. And if you want to learn how to do the week 5 worksheet, credible source worksheet, then look up the week 10 instructor session in the Professor H writing channel. And the good thing about these videos is that you can just rewind it again or look at the transcript in YouTube. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H writing channel. And I wish you all a great week, and we're almost done with the class.